Call your next witness.
The government calls Lyndal Shaneyfelt.
Yes, sir. If you would, please, if you'd come forward. Have you been sworn?
Yes, I have.
Fine, thank you. If you would, please. Tell us your name, please.
My name is Lyndal L. Shaneyfelt.
And where do you live?
I live in Alexandria, Virginia.
Thank you.
Mr. Shaneyfelt, as I understand it, you were the photographic expert who testified before the Warren Commission in 1964 on the assassination of President Kennedy. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And you were employed by the FBI at that time?
Yes.
But even way back then, you were working as a question document examiner for the FBI. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Does the field of question documents include handwriting identification?
That is correct, yes.
Mr. Shaneyfelt, in this case, did you have an opportunity to examine documents purportedly written by Lee Harvey Oswald, as well as known exemplars of his writing?
Yes, I did.
And where did you examine the documents?
In the National Archives in Washington, D.C.
Exhibit 167. Now on the screen is a photograph of a Klein's sporting goods order form for a 6.5 millimeter Mannlicher Carcano rifle with a telescopic sight and an envelope addressed to Klein's store dated March the 12th, 1963. Is this one of the question documents you examined?
Yes, I identified all of the handwriting on the envelope, including the A. Hydell return address and the writing on the clipping for the order for the rifle as being the handwriting and handprinting of Lee Harvey Oswald.
So Oswald wrote the word, or the words, or the name A. Hydell. Is that correct?
Yes, he did.
Exhibit 174. Mr. Shaneyfelt, was one of the documents you examined and determined to be in Oswald's handwriting called an historic diary.
Yes, it was.
And it is a 12-page diary?
Yes.
And you have it with you today?
Yes.
You're honored to give the jury an insight into the thinking of the accused. I'd like to have certain passages of the diary and other writings of Mr. Oswald read to the jury at this time. Mr. Shaneyfelt, the first entry in the historic diary is dated October 16, 59, where Oswald refers to arriving in Moscow from Helsinki. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
Does the October 21st entry contain a reference to Oswald attempting suicide?
Yes, it does.
Would you read excerpts from this entry?
Yes. He writes, Eve, 6. Receive word from official police. I must leave country tonight at 8 p.m. as visa expires. I am shocked. My dream shattered because of a petty official. 7 p.m. I decide to end it. Soak wrist in cold water to numb pain, then slash my wrist. He goes on to say, about 8, Rima finds me unconscious. She screams and runs for help, and then goes on to state that the ambulance came and he was taken to a hospital.
Is there this language in the October 31st, 1959 entry? Quote, my mind is made up from this day forward. I consider myself no citizen of the USA.
Yes.
I take it, Mr. Shaneyfelt, you have read the entire diary.
Yes, I have.
Exhibit 178 was another document you examined and determined to be in Oswald's handwriting, a November the 8th, 1959 letter to Robert Oswald, Lee Harvey Oswald's brother, written from Russia.
Yes.
Would you please read the second paragraph of this letter?
I have been told that I will not have to leave the Soviet Union if I do not care to. This then is my decision. I will not leave this country, the Soviet Union, under any conditions. I will never return to the United States, which is a country I hate.
Exhibit 179 was another document you examined and determined to be in Oswald's handwriting, a letter dated November the 26th, 1959, from Oswald, again to his brother Robert, written from the Hotel Metropole in Moscow.
Yes.
Does page 2 contain these words? I want you to understand what I say now. I do not say lightly or unknowingly, since I have been in the military, as you know, and I know what war is like. In the event of war, I would kill any American who put a uniform on in defense of the American government. Any American.
Yes, that was written by Oswald.
Mr. Shaneyfelt, in any of the documents you examined in this case, did you find any evidence of disguise or forgery?
No, I did not.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shaneyfelt. No further questions.
You all done?
Yeah, I think so.
Boy. Well, do you realize what you've been used for here, Doctor? Do you know why you're here today?
Yes, I'm here because I identified the handwriting of Lee Harvey Oswald on certain documents.
Actually, what you've been used for by Mr. Bugliosi is to smear my client, isn't that right? Doesn't it make you, don't we hate communists, you and I?
We're inclined in that direction, some
Yes,
more
sir.
than others.
Do you recognize the possibility that you were used through this rather clever lawyer to prejudice the minds of this jury against my client? Do you recognize that possibility?
I recognize that possibility, yes.
You didn't come here to do that, did you?
I came to testify about his handwriting.
You came here to testify as a scientist, didn't you?
That is correct, yes.
Let me put to you, if I might, another hypothetical.
All right.
You've worked for the FBI, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
You know undercover agents do certain things, don't you, to try to protect themselves and to mislead the enemy, don't you?
Yes.
The hypothetical that I want to put to you is this. Here, let's assume that there is a man working for the CIA or for the Army Intelligence or for the Navy Intelligence, which had charge of the Marine Corps. Let's assume that he went to Russia and that he said, I am a defector to Russia. Let's now assume that while he's there, he wants to establish for those who are in Russia his loyalty to the Russian cause. Wouldn't one of the ways that he would do that would be to write anti-American letters to his brother?
I can assume that might be a possibility.
Sure. As a matter of fact, you know from your experience in the FBI that the Russians censor mail, don't you?
I do not know that. We all assume that. We do not know that.
Yes. And the next thing that somebody might do is to keep a diary in which anti-American statements were maintained. Isn't that true?
That's always a possibility.
Now, if you were working for the CIA, unless you wanted to have somebody read your diary, if you were working for the CIA, would you even keep one?
I would doubt that you would keep one.
Thank you. You don't keep a diary yourself, do you?
No, I do not.
And so, unless you wanted somebody to discover the contents of a diary, if you were an intelligent agent, you probably wouldn't keep one.
I certainly wouldn't.
With respect to this historic diary from which these very defamatory things were read by you to the jury at Mr. Bugliosi's request, relative to that historic diary, aren't you aware of the fact that the handwriting experts who preceded you concluded that that diary, which is supposed to cover a 3-year period, may have been written in as little as 2 sittings?
I'm not aware of that.
You've never heard that before?
No.
Well, let me read to you the finding and see if you agree with this on that matter. I'm reading from page 236, Mr. Bugliosi. The paper used for the paper used for the 11 of the 12 pages is similar. Only the last page differs. It is appreciably thinner. Did you check the paper?
I did not, no.
That's because you didn't see the originals. Isn't that true?
I saw the originals.
I see. The writing has a continuity from page to page and line to line that is indicative of being written about or at the same time. Would you agree with that?
No.
It does not give the impression of being, quote, random, as would be expected of a diary extended over a period of time. It appears that this diary has been written within a short period of time and not over any extensive period. Do you agree with that, sir?
I do not recall seeing any evidence in the diary that would support that conclusion.
Would you say that other experts in the field could justifiably have come to that conclusion?
Yes?
And so now what we're dealing with is just a matter of opinion. Is that right?
That is correct. That's a very difficult determination to make.
Thank you. Now, I want to ask you a few other things. Are you aware of the fact that the House Committee's findings, that is, the House Committee's findings were as follows, quote, the order form, that is the order form for the rifle, and the envelope were destroyed by Kleins. Did you know that?
Yes, I was aware of that.
And all they had was microfilm records.
That is correct.
Did
yes.
you see the microfilm records of those?
I saw a print from the microfilm record.
You understand that many competent handwriting experts say that we must not look at Xerox copies or microfilm copies because they can be altered. You understand that, don't you?
I understand that, yes.
So let me just get some things straight. You agree that your colleagues agree that these photocopies are copies that can be altered by a photographic or photocopic process and therefore may not be ultimately relied on. But you don't agree with that. Is that true?
I don't agree with it totally. I agree with it relative to xerographic copies, Xerox and the other copying processes that copy only in black or white and have no gray tones in between. Microfilm is a continuous tone product and gives you the intermediate tones and does not give you a misrepresentation of line quality because you have gray tones.
Thank you. You know that the FBI and the CIA are capable of creating very good forged documents, don't you?
I believe that's a fair assumption.
No further questions.
Thank you. You may
Thank
step down. Call your next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor.